So I just had some feedback on my video. Apparently I'm too vague. I've got to be more specific and on point with the case examples. So my last video was about the benefits of diversity on your personality development to make yourself more interesting. And so specific examples. Now firstly, I'm going to mention doing really intensive long hours in hospitality work. I feel it's beneficial because you have to use so much parts of your brain. You have to, kinetic, you have to work around people. You're always like a dancer. You have to remember things. You have to be a good person, in a good mood. And you're constantly moving and working as hard as you can and for hours. And when you're constantly doing something, focusing on activity, even if it is mundane, your subconscious come through because you're not constantly thinking of something. You let your subconscious actually work, so you can have all these. I have most creative thoughts when I'm doing something physically, like if I'm working out or cleaning or going for a walk, because that blood circulation, it kicks it in. So if you didn't go through that initial struggle, you never would have had those beautiful thoughts. And I remember going to this festival when I was 18, and I was like, not feeling that pumped. And then as soon as I got to the music, I was just like, I started dancing, I started feeling really good, I started bringing out the buzz. So it's like nothing in life is free. No such thing as a free lunch. Okay, that's one example, concrete example, not just airy, fairy, fluffy. Okay, another example of adversity making you interesting is, say, let's go into like a unusual country, somewhere like Sri Lanka, and just going not like resorts, just going. The budget, like the tours, and not tours, just cruising around, seeing it all, being amongst the people, eating where the locals go, not doing the touristy stuff. It's going to be a bit tricky because, the transport's not going to be very luxurious, the English not going to be the best, and it might be a bit dirty, it might be feeling a little unsafe. But you get the real access to the local culture, you see legit, and you're actually absorbing the good parts of them. Even if you don't realize it, you've seen how other people live, and you're an open-minded person, you can gain from that. Like, I learned so much. I've seen like so many kids and stuff in Sri Lanka, like little kids, so happy. They look poor as, like, no iPads, no Chryslers, but they still look happy as, perfectly like happy, like big smiles on their face. I'm not just saying about money, but so I'm not saying it's tough to go on a holiday to Sri Lanka. Wow, big deal. But it'd be easy to go to Bali and go sit in a resort, drink bintang and go out and look for someone to take advantage of, but that's too easy. Now, like cooking, how many people just order takeaway? And I know a lot of guys and girls don't know how to cook, especially young people. How ridiculous is that? Because when you cook something or making something yourself, it's much more satisfying. Anything you make, put more effort in. Gifts, another concrete example of how something harder is better. You could buy someone a piece of jewelry, like I did, It's so shit because it just looks like you just bought something, even though you trade your life for it. Better something you made yourself, like a nice finger painting. It just shows you've actually. It's not just as easy to go out and buy something, You've just taken the time out, you've planned. Okay, this activity is just about creating something. Now, in this life, we're really rich compared to hundreds of years ago, and people have a lot of luxury, and they don't really get a chance to develop these attributes. And I know it's very common in this generation to raise your children to be overprotected, and not much access to dangerous things. I'm not saying you go play on fireworks all day, but when you go out and take chances, you may fail, yes, but if you don't take chances, you're never going to grow. So you can stay safe, stay in bubble wrap, never do anything new, but you won't get hurt, but you're not going to grow either. You're just going to be a little wallflower, just like a little fluff ball floating along in the breeze, And so I feel like there needs to be more of an emphasis on awareness of the importance of impulsivity and being in touch with your inner self, because it's like I feel like a lot of people watch movies and stuff and they get examples of all these wild, creative, interesting people, and you kind of feel bad about your own life. You feel like you're a piece of shit, you're boring, because you're comparing to others. But once you actually get in the habit of choosing the path less trodden, and just being a little more impulsive, and just listen to your heart, and doing the tough things. Afterwards, it becomes natural, and then you start to separate from the others, and you look at them, people who are happy, who are just in bliss, in not knowing and not being aware, and just being constantly clueless how the world works. You start to realize that even more. You wake up and you start to love the difficult parts of life. And you look for that. It starts to become second nature. It's like brushing your teeth, or saying hello to someone you've seen, an old friend. It becomes second nature. So it's not hard after a while. It becomes you, and then you spread to others. Now, it sounds kind of selfish always doing self-help work, but when you work on yourself, you can others can see that and they can rub off. So if you're trying to do tough things like learn a new language, learn a new sport, try and get the best-looking guy or girl as your partner, that's really tough. But afterwards, you just be like, wipe your brow. You'll be like, I can relax now. Because human beings, we are evolutionary designed to conserve energy, right? It makes sense because, if it's going good, you've got plenty of nuts for the winter, I'm just going to chill. But we're happiest when we're busy and working towards something. So you have to evolve further, because some human beings, they are still on the same level as Neanderthals. They just want to, eat, breathe, fight, entertainment, right? You can rise further than that. There's you can evolve further, because think about how much human beings have changed so much in the past few hundred years. It's pretty revolutionary considering the lifespan of humans, and so you can actually actively alter your DNA by your conscious choices and your actions. And the biggest part of that, or a big part of it, is not avoiding adversity and struggle. Like people say, it's amazing that car parks at shopping malls to me. All the cars are right next to the very entrance, and none of them are even more 10 meters away. Because people would rather wait in traffic and get around just to avoid any kind of few steps of walking. But if you park just a little bit further away, you get a little bit of pump up, that little bit of endorphin release and exercise. Your brain might be clearer. So when you go shopping, you're not going to spend so much stupid shit to make up for your lack of calmness in your mind. So it's beneficial economically as well, not just for you spiritually, to try and do the hardest thing. And the train station, everyone goes escalators or stairs. You'd be sitting on a train for 40 minutes, just a bit of work. I might sound like a grumpy old, whinging pom, whatever, but I just feel like there's so many parts of a society that need a lot of work, but no one ever talks about. And I just hope other people, realize and make more discussions about it, because you need to discuss things in order to make plans to change. Have a nice day.